welcome back to the Minimax channel, and a couple things that I've been working on. Hey, before I get into any of that, I have to share some great news. Next week, today is Thursday, and on Monday I'm driving to Arizona, and on Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'll be at Scott Kassler's place picking up my engine, and I'm so excited about that. It's been a long time coming, and the best part is I'm going to take my camera. He's given me permission to do that, and hopefully I get a chance to show his shop. I've got a list of questions for him about my engine specifically, but about, half VWs in general. So I hope to take you along on that journey. We'll get some film, and we'll get some video, and we'll see what's happening over in Hummel Engines area. So all right, so that means I've got to start getting kind of this area painted and ready for to get it mounted and go through all that. But before I do any of that, I want to make sure I get the tail on. And so yesterday I was here for just a little bit, and it was all stuff that you had already seen, so I didn't film it. But I just got the finishing tapes on the vertical stab. This is ready to seal the weave on and get that in place. This my stab didn't turn out as bad as I maybe originally thought it might. I just had a couple of areas that weren't that stellar, but for now I'm gonna go with it, and it's just a little bit rougher than, say, than how this looks right here. So I'm gonna have a little bit of orange peel in this, but that's okay. I don't mind that little bit that you see right there. So, working on putting in the gasculator down there, the facet pump. I'll get that in. I'm thinking about how those two are going to interface and connect. So it's really just going to be with a hose. It's just that they're pretty close together, and that hose makes a kind of a sharper bend and a dive. So I'll have to see how that goes, and make sure that works out okay. If not, I may have to put maybe a 45 or something coming out of the shutoff. All right, so I have so many things I could be doing today. Number one is getting this ready for paint, and maybe even getting some paint on that. Get the rudder over here and start covering the rudder. I'm working on my radio stuff. I drew up my parts that I'm going to cut out of 032. Basically, this is just for my headset jack mount, and this is for the radio mount, and then I'll have another piece that'll actually mount it to the fuselage. And it's right here. I'm using the Sporty SP400, and it's got I like this one. It's got a couple screws on the back, which will be great for mounting, like right there. That's where that mounts, and these stick up above the mount overall. So the radio is going to be like in this area right here, and I think it will probably come up just a hair above. So I'll have to I'll figure out exactly where it's gonna go after I get it. That's why I haven't included the mount yet for how I'm gonna do that, but it'll go underneath. It'll have a slight bend to it, so that this will sit just a little bit, not vertical completely, but a little bit slanted like that. And it may go over this way. I'm going to sit in here and see where the best place is for it. And then the headset jacks will probably be right behind it, over here somewhere. So all I got to do is plug in, and I'll hardwire that. And Zach helped me out yesterday figuring out how to wire that. So we have my cords that we're going to hardwire into the jacks themselves, and that will, yeah, I'll show you all that when we get there. But today we're going to continue covering. I have taken the steering arm off, and I am working on a new steering arm that it extends the pivot point of the tail wheel steering out about an inch beyond where the old one was. And so that's just got to get that cut out and prepped and painted and ready to mount in there. Gus was kind enough to share a piece of that with me, so I don't have to go buy a chunk of it. Yeah, all right, so let's get busy and do something. All right, so I got my parts laid out on some 032 aluminum. Not going to need anything heavier than that for this purpose. So, and I got to clear that off. This is done now on both sides. I put the thinned stuff on there, so this is now ready to paint. And stabs over there. So getting ready to cover. I'm going to cover the rudder, but I thought before I do the rudder, I need to see how much fabric I have, because I have the elevator over there left to do, and I want to make sure I have enough length to do that before I cut up what I have, because I should be able to get both of those and the rudder out of that whole length anyway. I'm going to roll that out and see what I've got, but in the meantime I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and drill all my holes, and then I'll be able to bend it up, and we'll figure out where it's going to go. All right, it means I'm going to have to put the seat in. So also I can work on the seatbelt. I was thinking about that the other day. I can get the seatbelt in here before I drop the seat in there, and we'll see how that goes. I was going to show you that this is the grommet, the grommet that I had. This actually worked out really well to use a nice rubber grommet where the gasculator goes, and then underneath you get a really nice clean finish there. So right there. So what else was I working on? A whole lot of things, but I'm going to get this cut out, which is a new steering arm. I'm going to get this cut out, and then that's the old steering arm over there, and then I can keep moving forward here. So let's see, that's ready to paint, that's going to cut out, that's going to cut out, and that's going to clean off. Okay. Alright, so my radio tray just needs a little tweaking. Not much though, it's pretty good. So that's going to go in here kind of like that. But I got to hop in there first and see that I'm clear. It's probably going to have to come up a little bit so I'm totally clear of this range of motion. So that'll be there, and then and this will go right underneath here, and that's the box for my 2 headset jacks. So this will be back here somewhere, and I think the radio is probably going to be right about here. So alright, so I got the radio, I got it mounted here in the tray, and it actually worked out really well. And I've got room around it to put some of the foam cushion. I'll put it in behind it and on the bottom and the sides. And I'll have to get some these screws were pretty short, but it says you can go to a 3mm depth, so I think if I get some 3mm, some M3 by 6mm, this should work out really good. So that'll give me the right amount of screw there. If I go maybe a little bit longer, I can put some lock washers behind it, which is probably a really good idea. So so what I'm gonna do is get the I've got to figure out the mount sooner than later, so I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that first. I'm going to get the seat in the plane so that I can hop in there and maybe put the set the windscreen up there so I can see where that comes into play, and then we can figure out at what height we want this to be mounted. So I want the bracket to go underneath, not on top, so I'll have to just make a little L-shaped bracket that's sloped a little bit. Then we'll rivet that to this, and then that'll get screwed underneath there. Okay. Alright, so I have plenty of fabric left, and I have more than enough fabric there to do the elevator and do the rudder. So that 18 yards of fabric is what I purchased to do the fuselage and do the tail surfaces. Was more than enough, so that's good. I think I need to get 20 yards to do the wings and the ailerons. So I'll see if there's actually 12 feet on the roll still. There probably isn't, but I'll measure it out and see what I've got. And then I'll use that to figure out what I'm going to have to purchase. I'm waiting for my antenna to come in. I'm using a composite antenna. It's advanced aircraft electronics antenna. I'm going to mount it along the spar, just in the right wing, and so that has been back ordered. It's supposed to be in any day now, and then I'll have that, and then I'll be all set with everything I need to get these wings rolling. So it won't take long to get this rudder covered and this elevator covered, and then we'll be on to the wings. The last thing I'm going to do today, however, is I'm going to safety wire these in place, and once I get those safety wired, then I can actually install the gascolator in the plane. So I'm going to do that, and then we will then I'll be done for the day. Alright, so I got that safety wired and taken care of, so now I can get it I can actually get it installed in the plane, which is good, and another step forward anyway. And now it's time for me to go. So thanks for hanging out with me. And we got this prepped and ready to cover. We got that that vertical stab fin is ready to paint. Just laid out some fabric. Just checking out the elevator, how much fabric I have. I have more than enough to do the rudder and that, with some left over. And so yeah, if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and that little bell next to it so you don't miss any of my episodes. And hey, I hope you're all doing well, and I can't wait for next Tuesday to go get the engine. So all right, I'll catch you later.